As y'all can see that XWW logo right there, because we're a part of the XWW network. But not only that, tonight, my guest, the man behind XWW, is going to be joining me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Manny Mac. How you doing, sir?
What's going on? How's it going? How's it going?
Another day in paradise, sir. Another day in paradise.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, it's a busy time of year. Yeah. You're booking a stacked show.
Yes, sir.
You're a new father. Like brother, can you add anything else to the plate right now?
You know, I'm pushing myself to the limit for sure, and I'm trying to see if I can hold it all down. And so far, it's working to my advantage, but we'll see how long until I crack.
Gotcha. All right, man.
Well,
look,
I'm the type of person that likes to stay busy. That's one thing about me is that if I'm not keeping busy, then I feel like I'm going crazy. You know what I mean?
Right. I definitely agree.
And yeah, this weekend is crazy for us. You know, it's our big Christmas show, which is almost like our WrestleMania, you know, in a way, because it's kind of like wrapping up the year for us. And what's also big for us is usually always the night before or the night after we do our yearly end awards, kind of like the Slammies. And ours is Monday the 19th. So, you know, we've got the show the 18th and our award show the 19th. So it's pretty crazy for us this whole like weekend, you know, kind of leading into Winter Bash and everything.
Oh, right. I understand, man, and I mean I'm seeing ads getting pushed everywhere. There's a handful of shows that are standing out this weekend. Two of them of which are in Charlotte. And those are the only two that are standing out as far as I know for the weekend that I know of. But man, you got two kick-ass shows coming to the North Carolina area, the Charlotte, metro area, because that's where Monroe is, right? It's in Charlotte Metro, essentially.
It's close enough. You know, it's like I'm sure people in Monroe almost can say like, yeah, you're near Charlotte. It's not in Charlotte because you got like Charlotte, and you got like Matthews, Indian Trail, Mint Hill, all the way to Monroe. And Monroe's kind of like one of those just small little cities. So you're probably looking at like 30 to 40-minute drive, if you're almost in the middle of Charlotte, like kind of downtown metro area. So it's not exactly Charlotte, but it's close enough, I feel like.
Gotcha. Close enough to where we could pull some audience members from there.
Hey, it's a good night for wrestling, and more importantly, it's a good holiday show. So I feel like if you're looking for some good entertainment, especially on a Sunday night, I think it's a good thing to check out. We've had a lot of people that have come to our shows once, and then they continuously come, after that because they're kind of invested in the whole atmosphere of what we try to create. It's not just necessarily about good matches. We try to kind of make it a whole entertainment experience, for the viewer. So it's, they kind of feel like they're a part of the show.
Right. I've noticed, I think some of the best moments I've seen come out of XWW have featured Cam Jackson, who I've been saying should have been signed for the last 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I met Cam Jackson through Braden Marshall, and he brought him into XWW and, kind of opened him up a little bit as far as just like, hey, be yourself and be creative and have fun with it. And we kind of had the platform at that time that I think he needed. And we needed somebody that could kind of give us that little spark as far as just good promos and off the wall type stuff. And, ultimately, I think that's what Cam Jackson's great for. He's not only good in the ring, but he can bring it on the mic as well.
Oh, 100% guarantee on that. Got a couple of comments we're going to catch up on, and then we'll go over this card, my friend.
Wait.
Thomas Cott said, "What's up?" That's the owner promoter of Pro Wrestling Savage and Titan Wrestling Southside.
Man, I got 2 promotions.
Yeah, staying busy.
I can barely keep up with one. I don't know how he does that.
David Estacado, what is up, David? How you doing?
What's up, buddy?
He said he's hyped. Let's see. Thomas Scott said Manny. And then, David said Manny Mac is the man. I think he knows your work, man. I'm pretty sure David.
We partied at WrestleK too, so it's gone.
Yes,
down. It's gone.
Dude,
down.
I met him at MomoCon last year in Atlanta, and I'm gonna tell you one thing: live commentary, so the whole crowd can hear it. Everybody can hear what the commentators are saying. Knocked it out the absolute park. It was like the coolest thing ever.
That's hard to do, especially live.
Dude, he did it for 4 days across 7 cards.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, dude is workhorse. It's no lie.
I'd have no voice for sure.
Oh, they were dying. Congratulations on the baby, my dude, said Thomas.
Thank you.
Yep. Let's see. Love those guys. Cody Gibbs chimed in. Hey, yo. What's
Hey,
up,
yo.
Cody? Uh, I met him on his first match. Is he talking about you or is he talking about David? I
I'm
think
not
he's talking
sure.
about you.
We're probably talking
Thomas
about
got,
me because it's probably,
yeah.
'cause we were talking about that show I ran when I was like 16 at the Mallard Creek Rec Center.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You've been running shows since you were 16?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 36.
Okay, so we're the same age. You've been doing this for 20 years?
It's just about, yeah. We even, and when I was younger, we started in the backyard. We had a ring. We bought a real ring, and we were doing it every Sunday, and we started having like 40, 50 people show up in my backyard. So we were like, let's just rent out a place and see what we can do. And so, we kind of divvied up all our money to rent out the Mallard Creek Rec Center, and booked a couple people that were pretty cool at the time. And man, it was awesome. It was crazy being 16, doing all that and experiencing it. And we were doing it so heavy in the backyard and producing it well. Like we were filming it, editing our stuff. So it was like, I feel like we could have easily moved to a gym at any point at that point. And we did. We actually had 100 people show up. It was pretty crazy for my first ever show that I booked. Like, yeah, it was super hype, man. Like, awesome experience. And I always feel like you should get every experience of wrestling. Because I always wanted to wrestle, but I was a smaller guy, so you could never really do that much unless you're Rey Mysterio back then. So I think I dived more into the personality, commentator, backstage, and then eventually owner kind of role that just got to kind of give me all of the kind of experience of wrestling, which I've been blessed to have, and been around some great people too.
Right. Dude, I mean, I've only been around the indie scene for like 3 years now. So everything is still kind of new and fresh and I'm still feeling my way out. But I look at the people I've gotten to work with, or, meet and hang out with. Like when you and I met for the first time was at the gathering in Charlotte,
Right.
right?
Right.
I was more excited to meet you and Brett Wolverton than I really was anybody else that was there.
And it's crazy because I've been watching your podcast and everything, before that. So it was kind of like one of those things where, when you're in the Carolina scene, you kind of know who stands out. And, there's not a lot of good podcasts and well produced podcasts. And, for someone that can do it consistently, I think that's what it's more about than just saying I have one, because that's the hardest part about all this is staying consistent. And you've definitely done that. So, I think that was one of those things that was just kind of always built up like, man, yeah, I need to eat Ron, man. He's been doing his thing on the podcast. And, sure enough, hey, it ends up universe brought us together at the gathering for sure. And that was an awesome weekend, man. Actually, I didn't know what to think going into that, having a table and stuff with Swinger and all that, but we had a blast.
Dude, I I was just a victim of circumstance, it was opportunity knocked and I answered the door.
I mean, yeah, it's what you got to do, man.
So,
Just jump on it. Jump on it. That's
so
it's funny, like to even just think about experiences. Like we just randomly happened to go to the bar and we're chilling, and there's Virgil, talking about hooking up with strippers in Vegas. It's just like you walk into the most random conversations in wrestling.
gotcha. Man, well, look at what look at how it went down with us. It's like we're there. I come out the bathroom and my gear bag's moved. I'm like, wait, where the hell's my stuff? And then the guys from High Spots were like, we need a cameraman. I was like,
They
okay.
threw you in the fire fast. And, not to mention you brought the fine cigars to the gathering too. So
Oh
that was
yeah.
another
Oh,
level too.
oh, I would have said my humidor's behind me, but it's already been loaded into the car for this weekend.
Hell yeah,
I've already done that.
that's awesome.
Like dude, if I got a chance to smoke a good one with a good group of guys, I'm taking that opportunity. More work gets done sitting around smoking a cigar
Yeah, I got
after a
that.
wrestling show than most people know about.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I've actually met a lot of clients and stuff like that from doing the marketing stuff that I do at some cigar spots. We're just vibing and chilling, having a couple of beers and having a few cigars. You just kind of get that whole chill vibe. It's easy to conversate.
Yeah, especially up there. I mean, like it was you, me, Cam,
Yeah.
Thomas was there. There
Yeah.
was a handful of us hanging out right then.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. It was a good time. I think we're gonna go back next year. We're trying to figure out who we're gonna bring to the table. But I love the conventions. It's just a good way for us to get more exposure and let people know we exist. And biggest thing for us is we love giving away merch, because I'm just the type of person where if I had 100 shirts, I'm giving 50 of them away just so I can see 50 people wearing our shirt. I always believe in marketing in that sense, that it always bounces back in our advantage. So we always try to do that. That's a big thing with WrestleCade for us, man. We do that whole weekend we're there. We're only just giving out merch, t-shirts, hats, everything.
Dude, I I forget what I was doing WrestleCade weekend, but I know I was busy as hell. I just that's all I can remember.
My son was born that weekend, so like I couldn't even really go. So like
Oh
I
man.
went there and made sure they had the table set up, and Lodi and Lenny were our guests that weekend, and made sure they were good. Checked into the hotel, and got the guys checked into theirs, and bounced the heck back to the house so I could be there for the little one. So it was like I had my, I don't know what it was, 45 minutes at WrestleCade, and it was awesome just for the little bit I was there and seeing some faces, and it's
Right.
always, wrestling's cool, man, because it's like when you really do have good vibes, and have, try to just do good within, running shows and things like that, you meet a lot of cool people, and a lot of people that almost become closer to you than some of your family. So it's like, wrestling's always kind of been like that with us with XWW. Like, we've been very short on drama and more on like homies and chilling than we've ever been.
Right. And I mean, that's a big part of it. I've had to navigate the waters. And, thank God I've had guys who've had my back and been able to tell me, "Hey, you may want to reconsider this." Cole, Thomas, Jimmy, you know, I talk to those guys more than I talk to my real family. So
It'd
I
be like
mean,
that. Absolutely. You create that brotherhood, man.
Eric
And it's awesome.
hell, Eric Nelson, I was on the phone with Eric Nelson for an hour earlier today, from down there in Georgia. Him and I talked for over an hour. It's
Thomas Scott and I have easily driven down the road talking for like 3 hours about just like wrestling, life, everything. So it's like it's so easy to to open up to a lot of the guys that are in your in your small circle of wrestling.
So I watched Thomas Scott earlier this week on Scott Larson's podcast. That was Monday, I think it was, right? So he was
I,
on
I
Monday.
love Scott's podcast though. I definitely I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, Scott's good people. He's suffering from a little bit of indigestion right now, so he's not talking a whole lot.
I
But
thought you guys were about to have a wrestling match at one point.
oh, that was all in fun
I
though.
know, I
That's
know.
what
I was
made it
loving it.
funny.
Absolutely. It just makes people want to watch the show.
Exactly. It's called a hook.
Right. Right.
That's what trolling is. But every time Thomas Scott would go to say something on Scott Larson's podcast, he would say, "I'll tell you what." And I'm sitting here like, Jesus Christ, Hank Hill, will you give me a break?
Yeah,
I was dying, dude.
he's definitely got the voice for that for sure. If you ever need to do a voiceover, he's definitely the man for that.
100%. I was driving down the road with my wife in the car and the kids in the back, and she just blurted out, "Oh my God, you sound like Hank Hill."
That's funny.
And she said, "Say damn it, Bobby." And he started laughing and then did it while we're driving down the road. And it was freaking hilarious. He's still here. Yeah, Thomas, I know you're still here. Young Luke Fury said, "Yo, what's up, Manny?"
Oh, what up, Luke Fury? I see him doing his thing. I definitely see him
Dude,
up there. Like, he's the
that kid works
NAWA.
his
I've seen some good
ass off.
stuff, and then with the APW.
I think I know he goes down there, but he can't work in South Carolina yet.
What's the one that he's at? It's
And not in South NAWA, I know he's at.
yeah. There's another one too. Isn't it the one Jay Eagle used to do? Or I don't know if he still does.
I
can't think of the name of it.
I got no idea. I don't know much about Eagle anyway.
I just try to keep up with it's APW. Yeah.
Yeah, it is AP. I know he goes there, but I know he can't wrestle there
Oh,
because you can't wrestle in. Yeah, you go there all the time because your dad's there. Nick's
yeah, I
there.
thought he worked
Yeah, I
there,
get
though.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
he doesn't work there.
yeah, he can work out.
Oh, I thought he wrestled there. I didn't know that he didn't.
He's not 18, so he can't wrestle in South Carolina. South
Gotcha.
Carolina's got that goofy.
Yeah, that's why I don't mess with South Carolina. I never run in South Carolina because of all the goofy stuff they have going on.
It's not that bad, especially.
You can't bleed. You can't bleed in South Carolina.
There's that.
No thanks.
There's that.
If they ever want the opportunity, I just want to be able to say, hey, we don't have to worry about something like that popping up on us, getting a fine or something stupid.
Well, no, you got 2 minutes to go home if somebody gets busted open, unless you can stop the bleeding.
You have to have a promoter's license, right? And then all wrestlers have to have licenses.
Yeah. Ring announcer, manager, referee, everybody's got to have a license.
Yeah, that's just the city. That's them getting in your pockets. They're doing too much. That's why North Carolina, they're like, let's do this. Just run shows. We need entertainment.
Right. Hey, look, man, I work in North Carolina too. I mean, I do all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I just, I've never had to deal with South Carolina, so I think we've just we just always been in North Carolina. And we mostly been in Charlotte when we first started, so we never really, it was never anything like that. We never had to worry about like commissions, other than some places you obviously have to have insurance, general liability and stuff like that. But I think that's the farthest we've ever had to go. Like when we ran Bojangles, you need a really crazy insurance policy for that.
Right. All right. Gonna catch up on some comments and then we'll hit this card, man. I
Yes, sir.
promise.
Let's do it.
All right, Majestic Marie, another one of the admins from the Real Wrestling community, has chimed in. Be sure you check out Peaches and Power Bombs. They're an awesome podcast out of Georgia. Let's see. Thomas Scott said, I'll be at the show Sunday the 18th.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Me and Manny had a cool spot at the Bowplex. Crazy moment for the beginning of my career. Forever thankful for that.
Absolutely. Wheeled me out on a wheelchair at Bojangles.
David Estacado said licensed. Yes.
No,
Wesley Flasky, fan of the show from up in Norfolk, Virginia. What is up, dude? Rock and roll for life. He is a huge Rock and Roll Express fan.
Nice. Kerry was our heavyweight champion at one point, so love the Morton dynasty.
David said, ready if you need anything. There's that.
That man is always on go.
Dude, he is nonstop as well. Thomas Scott said, hold on a minute, guys. Damn it, APW in my Hank voice.
Perfect.
Right on. All right, man. Well, let's go over this card.
Let's do it.
Let's see here. We've got Thomas Extreme versus Effie.
Yes, sir. So,
okay.
Thomas Extreme's been doing his thing as being hardcore champion, and he's defended on a lot of shows. And one thing with XWW is we always try to create that atmosphere of like you never know who you're going to see. And one of our kind of like backstage bookers that we use real heavy is Johnny Smalls. I don't know if you ever met Johnny Smalls. Awesome guy. You'll bump into him at a lot of shows and stuff like that. But he hooks us up with a lot of guys. A lot of wrestlers that we try to get in contact with, and Effie was one of them that we want. We've been wanting to have in XWW, and Effie's been doing his thing all over the world. And I've seen like a couple of his shows that he's put on, like the bash, the big gay bash and all that stuff that I've watched on Fight. And man, the man's definitely just awesome in the ring. So we're super excited to have him for the first time here at XWW, and more than anything, going for the hardcore title because Effie loves hardcore.
Yeah. Let's see. David throwing out a prediction. He said champ retains, and I feel a candy cane in the head. All right.
Well, you never know what might happen in XWW, but big thing for us, man, is like we push streaming really hard. So our monthly subscribers that we push on Roku, and then extremetvonline.com, you can check it out and subscribe. First 5 days free. That we have 300 monthly subscribers right now, and so we try to just push heavy content because we know there's a lot of people that are watching that aren't necessarily local. So that's why a lot of times with our pay-per-views you'll see are decently some big guys on the card just to got to keep that momentum going of letting people know like XWW's we're here, and we're bringing in some talent that you see all over the world.
Right. And dude, I mean the XWW thing is a really smart idea. You just said it's $5 a month to subscribe, and then you just said there's 300 monthly subscribers. So that's the upkeep right there. Plus, that's helping fund your shows.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's been my biggest thing, man. It's like, I'm like, okay, especially when COVID hit, we were like, all right, what's a way we could still keep running? And we can't run shows, you can't rent venues, and there's not a whole lot you can do. So we try to do some tapings at our studio we had, and we just kind of came up with the idea was like, hey, streaming's really taking such a huge leap, and I think that's the next thing for wrestling. And then obviously you see that now it almost everyone's has their own network in some way now if they're not connected to Fight TV. And that was the first thing for us. We were like, let's get on Fight. So we were on Fight for like almost a whole year. And I think that ultimately, once we realized, okay, hey, we could run live pay-per-views, we know we can put on a good product, and why not just do it on our own platform? And instead of somebody else taking half of our profit, we can maintain it, and then at the same time build our entire library so that people can access everything in one place. And from there, it's been so crazy because it's spawned into other shows and stuff like that. But that's what the big advantage I'd say with our pay-per-views is we try to really create a production more than we do about live ticket sales, which I think that's what a lot of people are more worried about nowadays is how many asses are there in the seats. Like, honestly, I don't give a shit. I just hope our cameras are rolling and we have a good production.
Right. Well, I mean, you want a live and hot crowd
Of
anyway.
course, always. But that I don't rely on that. Is what I guess I'm more so trying.
Yeah, and that's a good way to look at it though, because no matter what, you're not losing.
You always lose in some ways when you try to push your promotion and card a little harder with flights and hotels and things like that. But in the end it's worth it because of the name recognition and you know how the internet is. You get some tweets out there and some posts from some of these guys, and it just kind of opens up more eyes on your product.
Right. Well, and not only that, but the talent you're using, even the local guys. Thomas Extreme is
Oh, one of my
extremely
favorites, like one of my absolute favorites. I feel like he should be in Impact Wrestling or AEW Dark. He should get these opportunities, and I believe in a lot of guys like that with us. So I'm going to put them in matches and situations that are hopefully going to only build their resume and give them the exposures that they need. And I've believed in Thomas all this year, pushing him to the max. And we've had him wrestle Myron Reed. I mean, Facade, like. He's had some stellar matches and good opponents to prove that, I mean, he can get in there and go toe-to-toe with anybody.
I met him this year, and as of the end of the year, I was like the most underrated performer in our region is Thomas Extreme.
Man, I'm telling you, and it's crazy some of the guys that he'd be losing to and having good matches with, and it should be the complete opposite. That man should be almost the king of a lot of promotions he's helping. And I'm gonna put it all on with Thomas because the guy will show up early. He'll help set up the ring. He'll break down the ring. He's literally there for the whole package, and like you don't get that with a lot of guys, man. Like especially nowadays, you barely have guys showing up on time. So it's just that nice feeling when someone truly cares.
Yeah. Now, and I mean, I'm normally one of the first ones in and the last ones out, and Thomas will vouch for that. This time of year, that unfortunately hasn't been the case. At least not in this month. It's not been that way. Time's been a whole lot more scarce lately.
Well, when you're bouncing from convention to convention and show to show, I'm sure.
Yeah. There's that. There's that. All right. So now this one here, this match here has got a slight change to it, but you can tell us whatever you want to tell us about. We've got Cam Jackson and Jordan Holt versus the other guys, Keith Mack, Stuart Snodgrass. Now we know Keith Mack is injured.
Yes. So Commissioner Quest is the one that handles all that kind of stuff. And, he basically told me that with this particular match that Keith Mack obviously suffered an injury at APW Chester, I believe. And just the way it goes in XWW, man, it's, if your partner can't be there, you have to defend both belts yourself. And we've had it happen before where Sweet Dreams and Dion Johnson won the tag titles, and Dion couldn't make the next booking. He had a travel problem, and Dreams had to defend the belts by himself against the Heat Seekers. And let's just say, he put on a hell of a match, and he fought the best he could, but it was 2-on-1. And it was definitely not the ending I think Dreams wanted. But in XWW, that's just the way it goes, man. It's just you gotta it's real to us in some way. So hey, if your partner can't make it, you're still obligated to be there and defend those titles.
Man. So, and the Heat Seekers, 4-time NWA Tag Team Champions. Yep. I mean, those guys are traveled and versed.
I think they're 3-time XWW Tag Team Champions. So they've been all over, and they lost to the other guys not only 3 months ago. So the other guys, are really just kind of getting into their title reign, and some of the promos and stuff that they provide are just amazing, and they're an awesome tag team to have, and we're super glad to have them, and can't wait for Keith to get healthy again, but. Who knows? He might still be there on Sunday, so maybe they have some tricks up their sleeves. I will say that you can check it out on YouTube, XWW, or our network, obviously, ExtremeTVOnline.com. Cam Jackson, Jordan Holt, they're friends that they hate each other and like each other. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually do work well together, or if Stuart might kind of take that to his advantage, in this matchup. And I don't know. I can't say that one over the other. You know what I mean? Because Stuart, he can go into like Terminator mode, and he could take out both Jordan Holt and Cam Jackson.
Dude, I've seen it. I saw Stuart Snodgrass team up with Mitch Robertson not too long ago, and those two tore it apart.
That's awesome.
So I've seen. I mean, Stewart's crafty,
Yeah.
man. He's very
He is.
crafty.
He is. And if you see their most recent promo on our Facebook page, they're ready. I think they got some tricks up their sleeve. I think they're ready for winter back for sure.
Most definitely.
Nice.
Lodi versus Christopher Prince for the XWW Television Championship.
So Lodi has been back and forth with that TV title all year long in XWW, and he kind of got his hands back on it. And Christopher Prince, he's got his eyes on gold, and I think he's been pushing hard this year. So this is an awesome opportunity for him, and in a lot of ways too, it's a teacher versus student match because Christopher Prince trained with Lodi, a lot of the times in the last year, every time they do their training sessions, I believe Mondays and Wednesdays, there in Matthews, North Carolina. And I will say Lodi knows Christopher Prince, but Christopher Prince, I think, knows Lodi well enough too that you might see it, you might see something different here at Winter Bash. So I think it's gonna be an awesome match, man. Like I said, this whole card is stacked for us because it's a buildup of guys that we regularly use, and in a lot of senses, storylines that we've somewhat built. Christopher Prince jumped Lodi at the last pay-per-view, while Lodi was doing commentary and busted him open. That's the photo you see there that you had up earlier. Lodi completely busted open from Christopher Prince. So, there's some heat there. So, I think this is it's going to turn into a brawl at that. I think I don't even know if it's going to be a wrestling match.
A lot of people might claim that Lodi is long in the tooth, but I'm gonna tell you one thing: Lodi can still go. I've seen him this year go with the best of them. So I saw Lodi go up against Drew Hood earlier this year, and it was fantastic.
And Lodi's such an awesome person to work with. He's a great person backstage, and he's great with the fans. I think that's most importantly. Like, you get your money's worth with Lodi because not only has he been there and done that, but it's truly about the bringing that experience to the fans and heighten that as the show goes along, and he does that to the max.
Oh, most definitely. We're gonna catch one more match, then we'll catch up on comments, and then we'll finish this card out.
Oh gosh, high flying action right there, buddy.
Yeah, I've heard of both of these guys. I have never seen either one of them in person. So we have, Facade?
Facade, you got it. Neon
versus Jay Malachi for the XWW United States Championship.
Yep, Facade, the U.S. champion. Man, this is going to be a crazy match. All I can say is, so we have a show called Hacked that we do on our network, and it's basically cruiserweight X Division style matches where there's not a lot of rest holds. It's just fast paced. It's cruiserweight style. The shows are 15, 20 minutes long. You get 3 matches, a couple promos, and so it's really fast paced. So a lot of ways, that's almost what we created in a division of that in XWW, and the U.S. title is almost kind of floated into that. And this match, I honestly can say, don't blink. Don't blink.
Dude, that is insane. But yeah,
we got an amazing high flyer, and he's doing his thing all through Greensboro, and now he's been working at Deadlock Pro. A lot of awesome promotion. Even had AEW Dark Match. So Jay Malachi is definitely out there and getting the exposure, and he's so young. I think he's 18 years old. So it's amazing what that kid can do in the ring. And Facade is a seasoned vet in that way of high flying that. You never know what Facade might do in that ring, man. He could flip all over, and the man is amazing, innovative, backstage and in the ring. So it's going to be, honestly, I think this might be one of the matches of the night for sure.
Dude, that's awesome. Like I said, I've heard of Jay Malachi. I've never heard of Facade, but I can't wait to see Malachi in person anyway. That's when you hear about people and you hear and you hear and you hear, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, they're going to be in front of you on this night. You've never seen them before, and it's
Absolutely. And what's great, the best way to see it is in this scenario, because these two guys, I don't know if they've worked together before against each other, but their styles and putting them together in a match, I'm telling you, it's gold. This definitely has my vote for being possibly one of the matches of the night for sure.
Oh, I agree. Now, I do want to step back one more time before we talk about bring up the comments here. Jordan Holt. I want to say something about Jordan Holt.
Another amazing guy.
I met him earlier in the year at a show another show in North Carolina for High Velocity Wrestling. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. I had never seen him before. I had never heard of him before. But everybody was like, dude, you got to watch this kid. Wait till you see this guy go. And I'm like, never heard of this man. But okay. I forget what I think I was doing camera work that night for Gary and them. And at intermission, I had to go walk and find him. And I'm like, bro, you're a fucking star. There's nothing more that anybody can say than that.
Absolutely.
Like, there's that dude's got it.
Oh yeah,
He's got it.
another guy that Braden Marshall brought in and kind of put our eyes on, and honestly, I don't think we've ever stopped using him since. You know, like it's like almost any show that we have, he's like one of the first few guys we hit up and say, "Hey, are you available for this date?" You know, you're definitely going to same thing like Thomas. Like you're going to get your money's worth with Jordan. You know, Jordan's a tremendous athlete, and what he can do in the ring is amazing. You know, and I think every time that we book him, the matches get better. So that's a plus too. You know, you're not getting the same thing that you kind of get from a lot of these guys. He always tries to be versatile in that way and give you something great.
Right. All right. So we're going to catch up on the comments, then we'll hit the rest of the card.
Do it.
Ron, let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever been mesmerized?
Okay.
Y'all know who the man is standing across from me? Goosebumps. Sorry. Okay. Do you guys think that Kerry has what it takes to even be half as good as his old man? Yes.
Oh, absolutely. And especially with the experiences that he's being offered. You know, he's getting put in a lot of great positions to learn and be around some great names and people in the business. So I think the sky's the limit for him for sure.
Whoa. Hang tight.
Who?
Okay, and am I back? I think I'm back. All right, I don't ask. I am on get. I am sorry. I need to. I holy crap, Batman! Come on. I am trying like hell to get everything back up because man, I want some because the computer. I didn't let it fully load before I started doing everything. I guess Microsoft had an update, and this is what happens when Microsoft updates. I don't know. Like it resets straight in the middle of everything. Crap. Damn, we were having a good show too. I mean, we're having a great show. And this is what I get. Ain't that a bit? Hopefully Manny comes back in. I don't know what happened. And everything's going on, or is everything still working? Shit. I'll catch up on comments. Hopefully Manny Mac will be back. If anybody's got Manny's number, shoot him a text. Let him know. The computer shit the bed, and I got it back up and running, and a backup up and ready. So if it goes down again, I'm just going to switch machines like this. That way I've got one. Oop. Let me kill the volume. Hold on. There we go. All right. So that's how you do shit. You know, you gotta. I guess you gotta do that. Y'all want to see what the side view looks like?
No joke. This is what it is.
So, God damn, look at that! What a mess. So hopefully Manny comes back. I'll catch up on comments while we're waiting on Manny. Cole McAfee, what is up, dude? How you doing? Let's see, we could just get the guys to promote the show. Yeah, you know, we could, but the great thing is I like, promoting everything I can. Everybody that I'm involved with. Manny,
Hey.
bro, I'm sorry. My computer actually crapped out.
Really? Oh yeah, and it was like
it-
frozen. I was stuck in that one room for a while, and it wouldn't let me like click to get in, and then it finally did.
Gotcha. What I had to do, well, I fired up a spare. So I've got a spare. Check this out.
Nice.
Sitting there.
Hell yeah.
So that's waiting. If
Backup.
this goes down again, I'm just going to grab the laptop and take over from the laptop and to hell with
Yeah,
it.
see, my original computer around 8 started being messy, so I'm on my laptop right now because I was like, well, I don't want anything to mess up, so at least I know this works.
This one hasn't given me any trouble in a while. I mean, I'm still running a i5, but I think I'm on like my 5th power supply. I built this Joker in 2009.
It's still going strong. Nice.
Wait a minute. 2009. Yeah, I think I started the original build in like 2009 or something else. But either way, we're going to catch up on comments, then we'll finish the card up.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry about the delay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Can't say enough about Thomas Castreen, how great of a worker he is. He truly loves this business. Agreed? I got to fix my desk. Yeah, my desk is on wheels. That's right. So I can be lazy and pull it over a refiner.
Awesome.
That is the way. Okay, that is the way.
That should be on your desk a lot, I'm sure.
I used to be, yeah. Well, I sat here when I got hurt. I sat in this chair for like 9 months.
Well, you were doing 2 podcasts a week, right?
No, that was before I ever even got into this.
Well, I'm saying now you are, though, right?
Yeah, now I am. Yeah, now I do Thursday and Sunday.
Thursday.
Sunday this week won't be Sunday. I don't know when I'm gonna do it. I may do it Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's a good day.
But, yeah. Let's see here. Sigmund's chest hair works harder than most of the guys in the Carolinas. That's from Cooper Housley. What is going on, House?
That's facts.
That dude right there had a breakout performance too against Big Country at Cole McAfee Show, Pro Wrestling Union. Their winter show, Holiday Havoc.
Gotcha.
Dude.
They just had it was it last week?
Yeah. No, week 4.
Week before, okay.
Week 4. Breakout performance for Cooper the House Housley. No joke.
Nice.
I've been waiting. I've always seen it, and it's like he's right there. He's right there, and then there it was. It was on. It was spot on.
Nice.
That was fantastic. Wesley Flassy asked, was it XWW or PWX that threw Ricky to the Wolves? Kevin Nash, the promoter, give Robert and DDP the night off, full pay, that opposite tag partners?
Was that English?
I don't know what he's trying to ask. Something about the night off.
Well, if you're talking about Ricky Morton, we actually haven't had him in XWW until last year. I believe it was actually last year Winter Bash was when Ricky Morton made his XWW debut.
Gotcha. So it must have been PWX that threw him to the Wolves, Kevin Nash. I have no idea. It may have been that might have been a big time wrestling event, actually. It may have been a big time.
Especially Kevin Nash. That sounds like something big time would put on with Kevin Nash.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's see here. Not only wrestling loading for the TV title, but the NWA Junior Heavyweight title on Friday. Yes, Thomas, I'm going to cover that show. And seeing as you're off, I'll bring you on later. I don't care. I'll bring everybody on. I can put like 10 people on this thing as long as it doesn't crash. Cameron Jackson, for the first time, he said, "Oh Lord, I finally made it, dude." He's never made it to being commenting on this show.
You got some trouble then. You might want to filter him.
I don't filter anybody.
I know. I'm just kidding. You never know what he might say.
I don't worry about what anybody says. That's the great thing about being me. I didn't say it.
Well, I guess I'm more about Facebook worrying about it.
Even then, I mean. No, I got hit with like 6 copyright infringements in one night. So I'm yet again, it is what it is.
It can happen. Facebook's pretty easy to do that.
Facebook's terrible about it. Let's see here. Thomas Scott said, "You're good, Manny." Cam said, "What's up, Manny?" Nice. Then there was the debacle of when we were cut out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Thomas said, "I just texted him. That was why I asked somebody to text you to let you know I got it fixed." Cole said, "Got to take off, Manny and Thomas. Y'all have great shows."
Nice. What's up, Cole?
Yep. Michael King has chimed in. "What is up, sir?" Hey.
Hello, sir.
That's right. I got the KE gear on tonight.
I'm rocking the XWW shirt.
I don't have one of those yet.
Hey, that can definitely be arranged.
That's key word. I don't have one of those yet.
That can definitely be arranged.
Rock on. It was about as big a venue as Ric Flair's last one. Then that was definitely big time. That was definitely a big time show. Kerry Morton, the junior champ, right? Yes, he is the junior NWA junior heavyweight championship.
I believe they had a tournament for it, right?
They did.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. It was big time. Nash was not on PWX to the best of my knowledge. Yeah. I didn't think Brian Kanabrowski would hire him.
No, that seems like a random booking for them. They'd be more into like Jay Lethal and guys like that.
Yeah, definitely. It was AEW. I don't think so. I think it was big time. David's saying yep. So anyway, we're now officially caught up on comments. Let's knock out the rest of this card.
What we got next? Okay.
Elijah Proctor versus James Johnson for the XWW Internet Championship.
You got Elijah Proctor being the Internet Champion, and to be honest, James Johnson, an amazing wrestler. So these two, I don't know, it's going to be a pretty crazy battle. But you have to watch out because Elijah Proctor has kind of aligned himself with almost like a dark group in XOW. He's got he works with Thomas Extreme, Jackson Sane, and Sephiroth. They've kind of formed an alliance in XWW. Started at Halloween Massacre, and it's kind of been spawned since. And that's kind of almost how Elijah worked his way in and been able to hold on to that belt as long as he's had. He's got a lot of people in his corner to help him. So it's gonna be interesting to see James Johnson does in that aspect because you never know who might be working in the background with Elijah Proctor.
Yeah, I mean Elijah Proctor is a hell of a up and comer. James Johnson is by far one of my favorite people I've ever met in this business.
He's an awesome one.
He is an awesome person to be around. He's
behind for sure.
100% agree. And look at his kids that he's got. He's got Drew Hood and he's got Selena Rose.
Right, absolutely. Both who've been in XWW a lot this year as well. So it's we always try to use who's kind of doing their thing around here, and they're definitely all in that bubble for sure.
Oh yeah, Selena, in my opinion, is one of the top prospects for the female star that's getting ready to bust out on the scene. Just waiting for her star to pop.
Yeah, I think the more more shows she gets on, the more exposure she'll get. I think that's ultimately what it just comes down to. You just got to make sure it's a lot of times too. It's wrestling for the right promotions, because not every show is a good show. Especially if they're not filming it, they're not doing anything with it. It's like a lot of times you're almost putting yourself at risk just to make a little booking. And you never know who you're working. You could end up getting a ring against somebody you hurt. So that I think a lot of times when you want to make that next step, that's when it kind of almost becomes important to take the right bookings over every booking, if that makes sense.
I've had to learn that as an announcer. So yes, I agree.
It's in all aspects for sure, especially in wrestling. You learn what's a good place to be and not be fast.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes those lessons comes at a great headache and heartache.
Right about that.
All right. So next up, we got Mitch Robertson and a mystery partner versus Murph Mancini and the wonderful Woo. So and this will be #1 contendership for the tag title.
Mitch has had problem with Murph and Woo all this year. He's wrestled both of them, beat both of them. And I think this is kind of like almost the way to end that whole feud they've been having. And Mitch has not found a partner yet, from what I've been told. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to find one, or if he's going to be going into a tag match by himself, almost like Stewart is. Like that's the thing about XWW. You never know what you'll see. You never know what might happen. You never know who might show up, so there could even be something big there with who his mystery partner is.
There could be a lot to this. Yeah. It could be somebody completely obscure.
Absolutely. I honestly have no idea. I know it's not me. That's for sure. I do know it's not me.
You're not wrestling.
I am not wrestling, and I'm not Mitch Robertson's tag partner.
Okay. You're not wrestling or his tag partner. Got it. We've got. Man. This is the first main event of the evening. This is Danny Moe versus Savannah Evans for the XWW Women's Championship.
And I think the last time we had Savannah in XWW, she wasn't in Impact Wrestling. So congrats to her, and that's super awesome for how hard she's been grinding and wrestling, and to get her spotlight for sure now. And to have her back is even another amazing thing. And for like our biggest show of the year, Danny Moe has been doing her thing all year long after capturing the XWW Women's Championship from Caitlin Marie. And she's had some awesome opponents. And every match she's been in, she's given an awesome performance, where some of those matches have competed with the heavyweight championship on the men's side, and almost even had a few times, I'd say, been top match of the night. So, Danny Moe really brings a lot. So this is going to be an amazing match. I'm excited to see them. I think this one also could be up for a match of the night, category as well.
Yet again, two ladies I've never seen work before. I'm genuinely excited.
It's going to be an awesome match. And Danny Moe, women's champion, we'll see if she can bring that belt into the new year. It's going to be an awesome one for sure.
We have Madman Fulton versus Bosworth for the XWW Heavyweight Championship. And you're going to be handcuffed to ringside.
Yeah, so let's just say we haven't had, seen eye to eye too much with Fulton over the last year. He's had his eyes on that heavyweight championship all year long. And honestly, a few times he's almost gotten it. Luckily we Money Enterprise always had a few tricks up their sleeves. So we able to do what we needed to do. And Bosworth still having that title now. And going into this matchup, this is huge because Fulton actually wasn't the #1 contender. There wasn't really a true #1 contender for the heavyweight title. Management just kept booking big names to wrestle Bosworth, like wrestled C.W. Anderson. He wrestled Moose from Impact Wrestling. He wrestled Hernandez. He's wrestled some top tier guys over the year and beat all of them. And, now that Fulton basically went into total carnage, our Royal Rumble of sense, won the match, became the #1 contender. These two has not crossed paths until last month, where they had the contract signing. You can see that online, and it just went to pure hell. And these two guys literally about beat the crap out of each other and tore the whole building apart. So these two have some hatred for each other. So honestly, this could be one of the best matches too. And from what I've heard, that Bosworth, might be on his last year here in wrestling. So this could be a big thing for Bosworth, that he could almost leave with the belt, and who knows what could happen, to be honest. And Fulton being an out of towner, that'd be a tough thing too. What could that mean? Because he's actually has a few things coming up internationally. So if Fulton wins the title, he could take our belt, and actually make it a world heavyweight championship over just a heavyweight championship. So there's a lot on both sides of that. So honestly, I'm excited to see that matchup, and it's been such a build all year long that man, these two guys are going to kill each other. I think they're going to kill each other.
It looks like it's got everything going.
We've got to give you a little bit of everything in XWW. You get your hardcore, you get your women's, you get your high flying, you get your tag action, you get your chaos, you get a little bit of everything, so that you get the overall entertainment of pro wrestling, engulfed in characters and fun entertainment, man. I'm telling you, that's what XWW is different than a lot of these others is we not only the production side, which we take pride in, but we really try to produce a quality show at the end of every month, like a pay-per-view in a lot of senses.
Right, because you guys do casino tapings every week?
We used to. So at our studio, we used to do them every week, and that was when the whole starting our network thing was going on. And now we do bi-weekly, and we do them at Lenny Boy Brewery now. So we moved our casino tapings there. Just to kind of have the live crowd, because it just makes such a world of a difference, not only for the wrestlers, but for the production, to even have 10 people there, rather than no one in our studio. So it's, that's a big reason why we moved that and lessened it, just so that we could put it in front of a crowd.
Right. I fully understand.
But we do our hacked shows at our studio. We have a new show called The Plug that is like a recap show, and it has usually one match on it each episode. And so we still do produce a lot of content out of our studio. That's the big thing about our streaming network is, we have a lot of original shows. Like Cam Jackson has a vlog show on our network. We have stop motion figure animation shows on there. We have a lot that is more than just wrestling, with what we try to produce.
Right. We got to figure out how to, finalize putting my show on there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's going to be a really cool thing to get into the new year, because we've actually like 3 or 4 shows that are dropping next year on our network. And, this kind of being, we're really into podcasts, man. Like, we love podcasts, even if it has nothing to do with XWW, we love it. Like, podcasts are such a big thing to have, people tuning in and getting a feel of different aspects of wrestling, entertainment, music, whatever. And, you're another part of that with, what you do with your other promotions and also WWE and things like that we don't necessarily have. So we knew that was something that we wanted to kind of get into the mix. And absolutely, I say, Extreme TV Online next year, you'll definitely be able to see your podcast on there for free worldwide. And we'll definitely get your audio on our streaming platforms like Pandora and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm already on all of it, so all you got to do is tell me how.
Mix, man, just so that people can, they'll be able to hear you and know just more about you, man. All it's gonna do is give you more exposure. That's ultimately what we try to do for anybody, man. Even Pro Wrestling Savage, they're on our streaming network. You can watch all their shows on extremetvonline.com.
Well, that's kind of what this was built under. It was built under the premise of, I know that I enjoy working for different shows.
Yep.
Why don't I do something to help promote them as well? So it's kind of like one hand washing the other. So it's a circle of business.
I can't wait for you to come Sunday, man, because you really see like how our vibe is, man. It's a really cool vibe backstage, and everyone really does their thing and plays their part and puts on an awesome show, man. And you'll really see like how close a lot of the guys are, and how really it's just a bunch of guys that just have a good time and treat it like a real brotherhood, man. It's awesome. It really is. I
am genuinely excited. So, correction, it was AWE, not AEW.
Oh,
and so it was something to do with Nash Link, that they didn't hate each other. Ricky said it was his best payday in a long time. Okay. So
one thing I'll say at least about XWW is we definitely pay guys full rate. So we've never gone shy on that. You never have to, you can ask anybody in any locker room that has ever wrestled in XWW. They've always gotten paid and gotten paid to the to what they've asked for. And that's why I feel like too, man. Like I learned that I went from film school, so I learned that in filmmaking. It's like if you always pay somebody, you're going to get to their best ability. You know what I mean? Like people are going to give you free for free. Like, and it's just, you have to understand that a lot of guys, they live off of this, like Rob Killjoy is a great example of that. Like he lives off pro wrestling. So like his fee is like what he uses to pay his bills. So it's like, you can try to cheap a lot of these guys, but you have to look at it in a lot of ways that, you're literally, helping someone's livelihood. You know what I mean?
Right. Killjoy's another one of the best people, you can meet. A lot of people might not care for his attitude or whatever, but guess what? The dude's serious. He's a businessman.
Absolutely.
And this is a serious business.
And another guy you're going to get your money's worth in the ring every single time. You
Agreed.
can put him in the ring with anybody, and he'll make sure it's one of the best matches on the card, and that's so important to have, and to honestly, that ease of mind as a promoter, because it's like when you have him on the card, okay, I don't have to really worry about that match. Like I know that'll be fine as long as they know the ending, whatever they need to know. Killjoy's going to give you the best of his ability for sure.
Oh, I agree entirely. Definitely. I've been working with him probably a good bit this last year, and it's like, dude, if there's anything, I always make sure, is this what you want? Yep, that's what you want. Awesome. We can go to work now. He's very easy to work with.
I think that's what makes a lot of times the promoting side easier is when it's a genuine person that in behind the scenes and in the ring. So you build that relationship with a lot of these guys that that you almost okay. No, I know he's on the card because I know what I'm going to get out of him. And I don't have to ever worry about it or have to be staring at the monitor or anything like that. And I think that's what makes this so much fun is when you get a group of guys that work well together and just want to have a great show. And honestly, at the end of the day, keep everybody safe and really crank it up a notch. And I think this is what we're trying to build, man. Like XWW, we do almost, I'd say 5 to 7 shows a month running regularly to put on our network, and 3 or 4 of those are live with a crowd. So it's like, we've always tried to do more than your average local indie promotion. And because of that, we've always tried to think bigger with how the internet is, with our social media, man. Like we almost have 30,000 Facebook likes. We'll hit that before the new year for sure. So like we've always tried to like stay on top of the mediums that you have to be on, and I think that's what's helped us build what we've built so far. And now guys like Cam Jackson, Jordan Holt, these guys that are coming into the mix, like I think it's finally making XWW like what it's always should have been.
Right. I entirely agree. I've watched it grow over the last year, and I've been like, where did this thing come from? Because it came out of left field, and then all of a sudden, it's like, it just took off.
And I think if we can get the attendance where we want it, man, I really feel like we can build something special here. And we're not going anywhere. More importantly, like the group of guys that are really involved in this, they'll make sure that this thing keeps going and thriving and pushing hard. And that's why it's so big for us to award our guys. Like I said, Monday on the 19th, we have our X Awards. It's a closed thing. It's only to guys that are within our network and in the company. And it's like the Slammies, man. You get trophies. We're giving away some prizes like TVs. We got some Amazon Echoes. Like it's a really like awesome way for us to show love to the guys that are involved in XWW and who help make it happen each and every month all year long.
Right. It's fantastic. I'm excited for this weekend. I mean,
hey, if you're free Monday, bro, please come out to the X Awards, man. You can bring the kids. It's family invited. We'll have food, everything, man. So that's totally open to you. It's really anyone in our inner circle, and you can see what our award show is like, man. It's an awesome time, and Lodi and our Commissioner Quest are hosting it this year, so it's gonna be a cool thing, man. I'm pretty excited about it.
I'll get the info from you, but I can't guarantee I'll be able to make anything on a Monday.
I know how it is. Absolutely. Yeah. That's kind of why we did it on that, just because we know a lot of the guys don't have a whole lot going on Mondays. We try to stay away from guys' bookings and stuff like that.
Man, well, Monday morning I'll be right back at the regular day job.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Oh, it's at 7:00, so worst case scenario, you always let us know. But hey, and if not, you can watch it on our network. We always film it, so you'll be able to see kind of how we do it. We have our last year's up as well. Just it's a cool vibe. It really. It's like a huge party and showcasing all the guys and what they did all year long. And, Winter Bash, you're going to see it, man. I'm telling you, this is our best card. It's a wrap up for the year for us. And we're excited to end 2022 on a high note for sure.
Fantastic. And, not only that, you could live stream your award show.
Yes. We actually thought about it, but after we tried doing it the first year, we were like, we wanted to have fun. So it was like, we didn't want to go there to work. So it was like, we had it filmed and we edited and produced it, but the guys that even do all the live editing and producing and everything, we wanted to enjoy the party as well and the award show. So it was kind of like, let's not live stream it. Let's just film it so then, we can actually enjoy part of this party as well.
Right.
It's nice to work all the time, because every now and then you got to take a few days off.
But no, see, I'm kind of on the opposite side of that one, because the wrestling thing is my release from everything else.
Got you.
Like, that is my time off. Nice. That, or, sitting on the couch with the kids or doing something with the kids and the family, the wife, whatever. You got that.
It's my escape absolutely as well. Trust me. It's my escape from reality. And that's why I put so much into it, and I love it so much. And I have, like I told you, since I was 16, I've been promoting shows. So it's awesome to see how far this has grown and continues to grow. And honestly, I'm super excited to push hard with a good group of guys that we're working with right now.
Right. Now, let's see. Thomas Scott said, "I always pay my guys, and I wasn't invited." Talking about the award show.
Yeah, we actually got to show up to an XWW show to get invited.
Oh man, damn! Got to show up to get invited. That's common.
I've actually never heard anything bad about Thomas not paying his guys. I've heard multiple times where even when the show didn't do well, he's came out of pocket and made sure everybody was paid. So that goes a long way in wrestling, man, because a lot of these guys get stiffed in so many other places that it just puts a bad taste in wrestling. So if you can not be one of those promoters and not be one of those places and really give people a good vibe when they come work for you, then it's just the sky's the limit.
Gotcha. Dude, well, I'll put you, I guess. When I first met Thomas, Brino, Royce, and I drove to Salisbury for one of his shows up there at Connected. Okay. On the spot, he picked up Brino as talent and myself as ring announcer. Perfect. That's fine. His next show was like 2 months away. Within 10 days, I get a phone call. "Hey man, what's your PayPal?" I don't have PayPal. "Well, what's your Venmo or Cash App or any of this shit?" I'm like, "I don't use any of that. That shit's for the birds and the feds to read. I don't use this. I already don't like the government. Why do I want them reading that?"
I guess that way is right. Yeah, but that honestly makes it so much easier to pay wrestlers these days. Cash is so hard to come by. It's like so annoying to even deal with. It's like, all right, what's your PayPal? What's your Cash App? Let's just get this done with now.
I don't use any of it.
Really?
Because
that's crazy.
No, I'm one of those people where I don't even like being paid until the end of the task. Like, you can hand me the envelope up front. That's when I get there. Okay, I don't care. But I'm one of those people where whether I'm filming or ring announcing, it don't matter. When I'm done my job, then you can hand me my end, and we're gold.
Got you. Yeah, a lot of times for me, I just do it at the beginning because I just I don't want to, deal with it at the end. I'm like, let's just get this out the way now, so then I don't have to worry about it when the show's over. I'm done with what I have to do.
Right, and like I say, different folks, it makes sense. Chiming in, Brino Roy said, "Gentlemen."
Hello, sir.
Tom Scott said, "I'll be there Sunday," and actually, Swinger invited him.
Nice.
Beautiful shirt, Ron. Thank you, Brino. Thomas got an invite to the show because he's got to talk about his show next, and he ain't even gone to his Facebook or his Messenger to accept the invite.
The link.
Yeah, he's got to click the link and follow the prompts.
His shows Friday. His shows before mine. He should definitely be on here promoting his stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I can't wait to hear the card he has. I know he has Kerry and Christopher Prince, but I haven't heard much else.
Yeah, there's a good bit coming on that. Oh, he just saw it, so he'll be here momentarily. Manny, it's up to you, my friend. If you want to hang out, you can hang out. If you got to go do the thing, you can go do the thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I leave and then can I come back? Is that how this works? You can leave and come back.
You can. I can drop you out and then bring you back in, or you can just sit there and hang out. Whatever you want to do.
Oh, okay, yeah. If anything, I'll just mute my camera. I'm gonna go check on the little one and all that stuff. But I definitely want to see what you guys got going on too, and maybe chime in there and talk some junk to Thomas.
Right on. All right. Well, Thomas,
hey, bro, I appreciate you having me though, and like I said, excited. Building this relationship with you, and we're definitely gonna get all the format issues and stuff so that we can start getting this stuff plugged on our network. And I think that'll be a big thing. One of the few shows that you'll see debuting next year with us as well that we're going to kind of have in the mix. One thing that we're trying to do is create like a weekly schedule of things that are dropping each day that you can check out on our network and within our platform. So Man, it's super stoked to work with you and excited to see you Sunday. And we're gonna have an awesome show, man.
Manny, I can't wait. Thomas is getting ready to join us here.
Cool.
And you said you're getting ready to go check on the little one.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I heard a couple cries. I'm gonna make sure the little one's was all good.
Well, you take care of that, and when you get back, I'll bring you back on screen, and
right.
we'll go over Thomas's card then. But I'm gonna bring on Thomas. Thank you again,
Yes,
Manny
sir.
Mac,
Right,
XWW.
XWW, ExtremeWorldWrestling.com. Check us out, baby.
Yes, sir. Oh, Mr. Scott, how are you doing this evening?
Tired.
Tired?
It's not before.
I understand.
I'm always tired.
Yeah, I hear that. Shane Odom chimed in. What is the best indie show you've ever seen or been a part of? Shit. I've been involved with a bunch of them that were great. I've done a lot of really cool stuff, Shane. I've been part of cancer benefits and benefits at Harley dealerships, and I like benefit shows, because of what they mean. So I'm a big fan of doing those. As far as wrestling wise and shows I've worked with JD Drake. I've worked with Caleb with a K, Lodi, Lord, I've QT Marshall from AEW. I've worked with a bunch of guys. In our area, dude, it's the companies you see listed below, and add PWF, Pro Wrestling Union's logos hidden over here, XWW's logos hidden over here. So just Shane, I'm all over the place, man. I'm in 3 states this year. I worked in 3 different states, so it's hard to say. And next year's looking like 5 already. I'm pretty sure I'm already at 5 for next year. So
it is, for next year,
huh?
Have you got Tennessee on one of those next year?
No, I had Kentucky on there.
Well, you got Tennessee next year too, so be quiet.
Oh well, there's my 5 states next year. Make it 6 because I think I'm going to Florida. So I'm trying to pull a show in Maryland. I'll be honest with you, man. If I could pull a show off back home in front of my own family, what else is there after that?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I've got to wrestle in front of my family and friends, and you talk about something that's off the chain.
I guarantee it.
But anyway, you're automatically a good guy.
You're automatically a good guy when that happens. Well, yeah, I mean,
I have no choice. I mean, it doesn't matter what I do. I don't see no wrong in me.
I'm a ring announcer, so I can only be so hated.
Yeah. I mean, what happens?
Yeah. Is there a such thing as a heel ring announcer?
I've never.
There probably has.
I don't think.
There's been heel referees.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think there's been heel ring announcers.
Jamie Tucker, Nick Patrick was a heel referee. The guy that was with Sabu, what's his name?
The guy with the whistle.
Bill Alfonso was a heel referee.
Yeah. Yes, Patrick, he was.
Jamie Tucker, even what's his name? Charles Robinson was a heel referee at one point.
Then you had the one of the Hebners that screwed over Hogan.
That was the Hebners didn't screw over Hogan. They screwed over Bret Hart.
No. There was 2 Hebners.
Yeah,
that was with Hogan. That was with Hogan. The one with Bret Hart was the Montreal Screwjob.
Yeah.
That didn't really do anything for that. This was 2 Hebners. One Hebner knocked out the other Hebner after the match.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
Yeah, it's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
But Shane, to answer your question, any show I work for is the best show that I've ever seen or been a part of. Every show that I work at.
I'll tell you the best show I've ever worked for. The ones
that pay me.
That's the best shows I've ever worked for.
That's the right thing. Most recent one I can think of is Brad Maddox. He helped cheat Ryback so Punk could retain the title back when the Shield was getting hot. That's a hell of a point. Reno Royce.
Yeah, Mr. Royce.
Well, he wasn't a ring announcer though. He was a manager and a commissioner
Yeah.
and a porn star. But that's that's for another day.
He was a porn star?
Well, leaked. It got leaked. Him and Paige.
Well, I mean, that's Paige, and then there was Alberto Del Rio. And
Yeah. And then he was a ref. Yep, that's another. Yeah, he was a ref too.
referee at one point.
Yes, he was. So tell me about this Camino Health Center and what we're doing tomorrow night. Tell me about what we're doing.
Basically, what the Camino Health Center is it's helping people find ways of being able to find doctors and things that can't afford it, and helping people with food and just all about bills and helping needy people. So tomorrow night, what we're doing is a wrestling show at the Camino Health Center, and it's actually the price of admission is an unwrapped toy. And what we're going to do is we're going to give those toys to needy children. You're going to get to watch wrestling for the price of a toy.
Right.
All this is coming out of my pocket because it's something that I believe in. All the wrestlers that are paid out of my pocket. The show is completely free for a toy. If you don't have a toy, don't feel bad. Just come on. I'm bringing something special that I wanted to do.
Right.
I mean, just the main event alone is worth the price of admission.
Yeah, I agree entirely.
I mean, you got the NWA World Junior Heavyweight Champion, future legend Kerry Morton versus Christopher Prince.
Yeah, that is going to be a hell of a matchup between them two.
Yes, it will. And I'll tell you, I've known them both since they started their careers. And this is going to be tough for me to watch.
Right.
It's going to be an awesome show. Never, I can't afford the production that everybody else does, but I do get good talent.
Oh, that I definitely agree with, because you've had some hellacious talent on there.
Yeah. And we got more coming the next year.
Ryan Manis chimed in, Dizzy MFing Devil.
Lord have mercy. It's been a long time, Ryan Manis.
He said, still waiting on that hardcore match you owe me.
Okay. Be careful. Wish for. Ask
Lord.
like his.
Why is it every time you come on my show, I get guys asking you for a hardcore match?
Because most of my career was surrounded by hardcore.
Right. Well, Ghazi chimes in, and Ghazi wants a hardcore match, and Mantis and Laz. It's like it's a repetitive issue here.
Ask Lazarus and Mantis why they want hardcore matches with me.
Okay, hey Ryan, why do y'all want a hardcore match with Dizzy?
But anyway, it's not about this time. I put aside myself for this show because of the simple fact it's about the kids. It's not about wrestling. Wrestling's the big thing, but it's about the children.
Yeah.
So if you've got a child in the Charlotte and Mecklenburg area, bring them out. It's free. It's going to just cost you a little bit of gas money to get there and back. I'm not asking for no money at the door. Bring toys, help out kids. That's exactly what this show is about.
Right.
I mean, we got some great talent. If you miss it, it's special to me. So if you miss it, you're going to be missing something.
According to Ryan, it's because you owe him.
Why? Because I almost killed his partner.
I guess that's the only thing I can figure out.
Basically, what it was is years ago. That's what I primarily did was hardcore matches, and I got known for hardcore matches.
Right.
And Lazarus knew about it. And Lazarus tried to wrestle me in a hardcore match that didn't fare well for him.
Gotcha. So he said, I took a double chop from him and Rage Davidson, and I still ain't got my payback. Oh, so this goes way back to the early days of Mantis's career.
Well, this goes back to the COVID dome.
Okay.
Me and Rage, we used to be a tag team.
Right.
Rage got one of the hardest chops you'll ever have. And I'm known for mine. Mantis said, I'll take a chop from both of you at the same time. He didn't like it.
I guess not. Jesus.
I'm more surprised that he's not mad about the kendo sticks.
No idea. I know when they showed up here for their interview that him or damn Lazarus, you open up Lazarus's trunk and there's a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. There's a chair. There's a reel of barbed wire still there. The metal reel of it, the roll of it. Yeah, he had that in his car. And every other toy you could name or think of was in it. Canes and kendo sticks and everything. That shit was just there.
Oh, I'm liable to grab random shit. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I've hit people with PlayStations.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, and I can even use bubbles.
There you go. Ryan Manna said, you got to play with the giver of free hugs at the COVID Dome. You've yet to experience the heir to Thor's hammer. Okay.
Okay, you bring Thor's hammer and I'll bring misery.
No.
Ryan.
I got
Misery is a special hammer that I made personally about 5 years ago.
when the recorder came.
Okay.
It weighs 75 pounds.
Something weird was happening.
75 pounds.
Yeah.
And my throat felt like it was clear anymore. That's why I was like coughing a little.
Okay. So it's like the one Mitch Robertson carries.
Mitch Robertson's is light compared to mine.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Well,
Good Lord.
it's funny. When I go for a hardcore match, I bring kendo sticks. I've even brought bubbles.
Like we're talking about like bubbles. Like
Yeah.
kill little kids. Okay.
Yeah, and chairs, barbed wire baseball bats, light tubes, whatever I can find.
Yeah. Shopping cart.
Yeah, usually a shopping cart, garbage can, something. And I'm
Nothing
not
wrong with
any of them.
Nothing wrong with that. All right, so tell me about this card, man, because I know we know what the main event is. The main event is Christopher Prince challenging the future legend Kerry Morton for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Yep, sure is. And we got Chris Vallow taking on Nathan Cross.
Okay.
We have Chris Vallow's tag team partner, Tommy Django, taking on Buggy Wright. Then you have me and Thomas Extreme as a tag team versus HP and Tim Hunter.
Okay.
Then you got Whiskey Business versus Fisticuffs, Brett West.
Okay.
It's gonna be a good card.
Man, that sounds like it.
Yeah. So
Ryan chimed in to say, farewell, boys. Watch the skies. I'm coming down miles above. Coming down fast, but don't let me break you.
okay. I love that dude. I don't know what he says, but I love him.
Yeah. David Estacado said, fun, good times when you were talking about all the weapons.
Man, I'll tell you what, I've known David. Shit. his first match was at one of my shows.
Oh, David Estacato's one of his first match was at one of yours?
Yep. Ask him, he'll tell you. And Natalina Corvina, one of his longtime friends, she wrestled for me.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, we've done, I've been around quite a while.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I've known Manny since he was a kid. So Manny's been pushing since he was 16. I remember it.
Damn.
I mean, he had Reed Flair as his United States heavyweight champion, which was Ric Flair's son.
Yeah. Wow.
Guys done Manny, I have the utmost respect for. I do for any promoter, really. If you're out there, you're trying.
Yeah.
Respect for you.
Right. That's kind of the way I view it as well. And David said, "LOL." Yup, he was agreeing with you about his first match and the young lady you mentioned.
Yeah, I didn't have. It's sad. I had to save his life.
Said you had to save his life.
Yeah, during that match, I had to go. He had his foot locked in the ropes. I had to go and get him free so he could get out of the ring.
Jesus.
I'll tell
His
you.
first match and that happened?
Yeah, in a battle royal. I had to actually pull apart the ropes so he could get his foot out. But I'll tell you, I hadn't seen him in years. And I was at a Ground Zero show doing music for him, and he pops up and he's talking to me, and I was like, I know this kid from somewhere. And then Natalina comes up to me, and I was like, oh, yeah, now I remember him.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But this show is very, very important to me. If you don't like me, that's fine. Don't make it about. It's not about me. It's about the kids. So,
right
now, and please support these kids. You got to think that we take for granted the fact that our kids and grandkids and stuff gets toys, but there's actually kids out there that doesn't get anything.
Oh, dude, there is.
It's things like this that help. You might be saving that parent's embarrassment that year by giving them something.
Right. I've been a big believer of it since I discovered it myself. I'm like, man, look, parents need to really consider what they're doing when they're doing Christmas shopping anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because tell me why little Susie gets an iPad, an iPhone, and 75 video games for Christmas, and little Johnny over here, he got a pair of boots and gloves for Christmas from Santa Claus, and all this is from Santa Claus. They gotta really pay attention to the Santa Claus parts, and I've been trying to make sure that, I wrote plenty of letters to Mrs. Claus so that she understood what was going on. So that way Mrs. Claus could tell Santa Claus and everybody had everything in order, for all the little ones out there.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, is I grew up poor and I was one of those kids.
Right.
My dad had 6 sons and he made $3.35 an hour.
Jesus.
So yeah, Christmas was short for us. I was happy. I remember one year my parents buying a pack of socks with 6 pairs and giving us all 1 pair of socks each. That was our Christmas present. True story. Because we couldn't afford. We thought my dad thought of keeping a roof over our head and electricity and water and clothes on our back.
Right.
And food in our bellies. So Christmas wasn't that. But I was one of those kids that wished that somebody would do something like this to give me something.
Right.
There's nothing like going back to school after Christmas break and hearing about all the things the other kids got and you have nothing to talk about.
Right.
So if you guys don't want to come for wrestling, bring some toys. Just bring and drop them off. You ain't even got to stay if you don't want to. I want
It's
to and watch the show, but if you don't like wrestling, just bring toys. Help these kids. You might be the one thing that brings a smile to a child's face this year.
right. And then not only that, you got the kids out there, you know, if there's kids in the area, come on out.
Exactly. I don't even care if you go to the Dollar Tree and spend $3 or $4 at the Dollar Tree on a couple of toys. Bring it. I accept everything.
Yeah. I told somebody they were like a price of admission's $5 if you bring a toy. I'm like, awesome. I'm going to the dollar store and getting an army man, just one army man, and bringing it in there, and there you go.
Well, here's the thing: is there's no admission fee at all.
Yeah, this was a different show. I was making a joke about another show.
Yeah, it's just a toy.
Yeah,
I mean, people don't understand the guys like me and Manny and Jimmy and everybody. Luckily, some of us get sponsors, some of us don't. Sometimes sponsors pull out because they don't see it what's in it for them.
right,
So I decided this time I'm gonna not worry with it, and I'm gonna pay for it myself. I'm my sponsor of this show
right.
because it's not about me. This is my present to the children. So I mean, like me, love me, whatever. I don't care. It's not about me. Come out
It's
and give to these kids. Support these kids. I mean, we got a great, awesome card. Not
almost definitely.
one match, but the cause is there.
Right.
So that's basically the only thing I'm saying.
Oh man, I agree. It's going to be an awesome show, and there's a lot to it. Not everybody gets it, man. Not everybody understands how everything's going to work or go through. It's one of those things where, in this case, you already know what the we already know what the Camino Health Center is about, you know, and the people in the Charlotte area know what it's about too. So if they already know that that's what this is, then this is a way for people to give back to a community, you know, and kick in when they can.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the biggest thing. It's to me this one and the school drive, back to school drive. Those are the two things that means the most to me because there's no there's nothing more hurtful to a child than feeling left out,
Right.
and that's the biggest thing. Those two times of the year is something that we just got to put aside and say, you know what, this ain't about us. This is about these kids.
Right.
I mean, I've actually heard horror stories about how a father went looking, and this is just what I heard about today. This guy was out behind Dollar General and got arrested because he was looking in the dumpster to try to find his child some Christmas presents. And he was arrested for trespassing and breaking and entering.
He was in the dumpster.
He was in the dumpster.
Man.
So, I mean, come on, guys. Y'all can spare $1, $5,
Right.
anything.
Oh, I agree. David Estacado chimed in to say, Wu Tang, it's for the kids.
Yeah.
And then Todd Perez said, going on. What's up, Todd?
Hey,
Yeah, hey man, look, this thing is across like so many social platforms. It's you never know who's going to show up and who's watching in here. So
I mean, you wouldn't believe the messages I've gotten from wrestlers this week that's gave me heck because I didn't book them for this show. And I thought to myself, the reason I didn't book you is because I don't have the money to book you this
right,
show. Like I said, on this show there is absolutely no return for me. There's no breaking even. There's no There's no getting a profit. This show I did on my own because I wanted to.
Right. I understand. Man, you know, the the thing of it is that you're 100% right. It's 100% loss on this show,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not 100% loss
Yeah.
in the community. It's not 100% loss for them kids that's
You know
out
what
there.
100% loss of? Blessings. You get your blessings by giving blessings.
Right.
And, you know, that's the thing. If I don't do it, who's going to do it?
I don't know.
So just bite the bullet and do it yourself.
Uh, yeah, man. Everybody needs to. Everybody can kick in when they can.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Exactly.
yeah. If this is your opportunity to kick in for the year, and this is what you want to do, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Exactly. That's the thing is, I think, and this is my theory in life, and I was taught this by Nelson Royal. He said that the average person makes around about $10 an hour. That's average. Okay. They're taking 1 hour of their life and giving it to come and watch us. And they do this every time there's a show. It's not the $10. They gave an hour of their life, thereabouts,
right.
maybe less, to come support us. And you're telling me now that we're too big to turn around and support them when they need help?
Right.
So this is my time. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired, a little emotional.
You're good.
It's just been, Ron, you know yourself. I've had a rough couple of months,
Yeah.
but I made it through it. And this is very important to me.
Right. Oh man, it's you know I'm leaving. I'm leaving Greenville, South Carolina, to be there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll get there as soon as I get there. That's kind of how that's going to go. So 85, be good to me tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
throwing a blessing now on I-85
Mm-hmm.
so I can get my ass there at a decent point in time
Yep.
for this show. Other than that, I mean, dude, it is a nonstop weekend for me because I've got an impromptu trip that I've got to make. I can discuss that off air. I'm not at liberty to discuss what's going on air.
All right.
So that'll be something you and I can talk about tomorrow. Even don't
Okay.
matter. But let's just say I'm gonna see the windshield of a vehicle longer this weekend than I will see anybody who lives in my house.
I've had plenty of weekends that way, so I understand greatly.
Yep. So, and right now I wouldn't have it any other way
Well,
because there's sometimes you just got to take care of stuff.
yeah. But I'll tell you, I mean, and this is the thing: is the wrestlers that's been there for me stick with me because it's going to get bigger in 2023.
Oh, definitely. I
I've got
know.
a lot of stuff planned that nobody else has got planned yet.
I've heard some of it, and I can tell you one thing: I'm looking forward to 2023.
Absolutely, it's going to be amazing next year.
It's going to
They're
be an amazing year for indie wrestling. Period.
absolutely like Manny. I'm telling you, man, he has some amazing things going on.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go to his first show. I haven't been to one in 20 years, so I guess it's time.
Oh, there we go. Mr. Wrestling Jr. has chimed in to join the show. He said, Downtown Bruno, how's Bertha Faye? Thomas Scott never met you, but glad to hear about you.
Hey, Mr. Wrestling Jr., I've just heard about you
Yeah.
like a couple
Uh,
of days ago.
yeah, I don't know who the hell Bertha Faye is, but okay. Uh,
Wow.
hey man, look, I can't keep up with this stuff. I just can't do it. It ain't there.
Brother, I tell you, it's everything I take day by day, and it's getting better and better. And
Yeah,
the promotion is getting better and better. You know, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just going to tell you this little story. Damn it, Bobby! But, but anyway, I was at work, and I get a phone call from Kerry Morton back in early November, and he's like, "Hey, Thomas Scott, you know how he talks. He's such a
yeah,
great guy.
yeah.
He's like, do you got anything going on for Christmas? Come on, let's do a Toys for Tots job or a toy drive." So I got a toy drive, and he kept his word. He's coming to not only wrestle at it, but defend the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title.
Good grief, is
You know,
awesome.
you know what the thing is that belt has so much heritage. It's amazing. It has as much heritage as the NWA World Heavyweight title.
Right.
Did you know Ricky Morton actually had the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title at one point?
No, I did not. I'm
Yeah.
not that well versed in the NWA history. Uh,
Mhm.
One thing I learned last week that I thought was neat as hell was the fact that when Ring of Honor crowns a champion, they tell you what number of champion they are.
Mhm.
I thought that was cool as hell.
Yep. Yep. And the thing is, the NWA has been around since way before me.
Right.
It's the oldest running wrestling show,
It is.
and it's more renowned than any other show out there. It's more respected as world. The NWA is considered to be the real world's heavyweight championship because you've had people like Antonio Inoki have it. You've had Great Muta have it. You've had it several world heavyweight champions from around the world. It is one of those belts that has actually been defended and held by different countries.
Okay, in that aspect, I see. Like, I know what you mean. But you got to figure. I'm also, a lot younger, so therefore, not a whole lot younger, but I'm a bit younger than you are. So my my wrestling knowledge doesn't go back as far. Then you've
Yeah.
got also the fact that I'm not from the South, where the NWA was the dominant thing,
Yeah.
or
NWA
WCW.
actually NWA was the governing body of several territories.
Right.
It was Mid Atlantic, South Atlantic, several others. I mean, it's like everywhere. The NWA belt actually traveled to the World Heavyweight title actually traveled to every territory and was defended.
Right.
And I mean, I'll tell you something that really, really will freak you out. Vince McMahon himself was actually a commentator for one show on TBS.
Vince McMahon Jr., you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vince McMahon Jr.
Yeah, back when it was the WWF that he was working with back then. Yes.
Well, that was
I
a sponsor
remember.
organization.
Yeah.
And Vince McMahon is not from Connecticut. He's from Greensboro, North Carolina. You knew that, right?
Yeah, he's
He
from
grew up.
down here.
Yeah, he grew up in a trailer park there. He actually
Right.
went to work for his father as on the ring crew at first. Worked his way up to an announcer. Then ended up buying the company off his father.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize that, but that's how that went. You have to work to get what you want.
Man, yeah, that's very true.
And under the direction of Billy Corrigan, I'm seeing NWA doing huge things this year. Yeah.
I'm more so pre-COVID, yes. I agree pre-COVID. Current track of the NWA, I'm not so sure of. I don't know. I feel like it's not as popular as it could be. I think it could be bigger than what it is. I think it should be bigger than what it is.
And it will be. It will be. The thing is about it is you got to realize NWA is more traditional. It's not about the big show.
Right.
You got more character work than most, and you got distinct good guys and bad guys. There's no guessing who's good and who's bad.
Right.
It's more of a traditional show. And it depends on which one you watch because NWA USA has gotten it's more the younger guys
Yeah.
that's getting up there, and then you got NWA Power, and it's got the guys like Tim Storm and Nick Aldis and a lot of other guys, Titus. These guys
Right.
were all over the place, and now have made their home in NWA.
Right. Let's see here. One of my favorite junior heavyweight champs was Danny Hodge. Man could break your hand with a handshake. Take less than that with a lot of these goofs these days.
Yeah, my favorite was Nelson Royal, and I'm kind of prone to that one. So
Yeah. He was your trainer, so
yeah, he was my trainer. Brad Armstrong actually held the NWA World Junior Heavyweight title too.
gotcha.
That was probably one of the very few belts that you hear about Brad Armstrong having.
More than likely. So, Thomas, it's been a hell of a night, and we got a long day of us tomorrow. So, what I'm going to do is this I'm going to cover both of these cards or both of these posters for both of the events coming up this weekend. I'm going to announce some future shows coming up this weekend that we are supporting. One of which I'll be working at, and the other one I will not be in attendance at due to it being such short notice. But coming Friday night, this tomorrow night, Charlotte, North Carolina, bell time 7:30. Be at the Camino Health Center at 201 Stetson Drive in Charlotte. Card subject to change. Main event of the evening, NWA Junior Heavyweight Championship, defended by Kerry Morton against Christopher Prince. That is your main event for that. Then Sunday the 18th, find us yet again, Monroe, North Carolina, at the National Guard Armory, 700 Charles Street, Monroe, for XWW Presents Winter Bash. First 50 fans paid to get through the door get a special XWW Christmas tree ornament. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is cool. Coming up on the 30th in Saluda, Saluda, South Carolina. I'm sorry. At the National Guard Armory, 107 Webb Road. Main event for that show, Brino Royce versus the Barbarian, WCW legend. That's gonna be one hell of a matchup there. That's LWA and TWA Pro Wrestling present their show. That's going to be a hell of a one. Doors at 7 p.m. Bell time at 8. Tickets are $10. That's actually not bad. Bell time's at 8 p.m. I have plenty of time to get there. Thank God. Then the show, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to make. Pro Wrestling returns to Fort Valley, Georgia for Kingdom Championship Wrestling at the Austin Theater, 126 East Main Street, Fort Valley, Georgia. Check it out. I'm seeing Dangerous Danny Horn, and there's a plethora of other people that I cannot remember their name. Go back to last week's episode where we interviewed Nick Ring. Nick Ring is an 18-year-old professional wrestling promoter at 18 running this company. Dude, the kid is insane. I talked to him a couple times. 18 years old. He's this far in the can. Look at the poster. Poster looks good for, that's good work. They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, the graphics alone, man. I'm telling you, trust me. I pay for flyers. I know.
Right.
Costs.
So the kid's putting his money where his mouth is. Nick Ring down there in Fort Valley. Him and I are in discussions of doing something in January, but we'll see what happens. I know I'm already working in Georgia at least once later on in 23, so we'll have to see how it pans out.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, man, Ron, I want to thank you personally for all that you do for professional wrestling, indie professional wrestling.
Man,
You're my right hand man when it comes to a lot of stuff, and I really appreciate you.
well, when you find people that are passionate about it, it's not work to them. And I just enjoy, as I said with Manny on the phone, man, this is a lot of this is one hand washing the other. The podcast promotes the shows. I work for the shows. You know, why wouldn't I want more fans to be there? I'd rather this, as much as everybody looks at it as, yeah, you invest in flyers and you put in the footwork. I invest in this and I put out everything I can for everybody.
Absolutely.
So it is one hell of a hobby.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it's been one hell of a hobby for me for over 30 years.
Right. Man, we're going to have to talk definitely some more tomorrow evening before the show, because we got a whole lot coming up in 23 that's going to be badass. But brother, I'm getting ready to get out of here. So you know what I always tell these people on my way out the door?
Have a good fucking night.
No. I'll see you at the Indies. You know where to find us. You know where to find the great professional wrestling. It's the companies that we work with, companies we represent, the companies we promote. So we'll catch you at the Indies. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Manny. XWW. We will catch you all next week. Actually, hell, I'll run a show this weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I'll find time to do a podcast, but we'll be talking about the big leagues. Y'all have a great night.